Before I start this video, I would like to say I started a Patreon. And you ask, why? Why at your level would you start a Patreon? Well, you never know. I could use the support, though, if anybody would like, even for like $1 a month. Or just $1 for 1 month, and that's it. But, yeah. I'm trying to get better ASMR content, and I'm trying to get better, save up for a better space so I can do green screen stuff, because the walls here aren't very green screen friendly, and I like, better lighting and stuff like that. So, yeah, I've also started writing music, so I'd like to get better equipment and stuff for that. But I'd also like to do digital remastering online, which costs money to get that stuff done. So if you guys want to hear my music and exclusive ASMR and custom videos and custom music, check out my Patreon in the description below. The Patreon is patreon.com/SoftSpokenPoetree. I tried to make it rhyme, so I'll put the right there. Alright. Hey guys. So today I have a little Q&A for you. I was hoping to get more questions, but, these people are cool anyway, so. The first series of questions, and I'll put their name below as well as in the description. The first series of questions is by Adriana's ASMR Adventures. Favorite color? Orange. Favorite music genre? Punk. And when I'm talking about punk, I do mean Green Day, because they got me into a lot of punk music. Even though Green Day is pop punk. But Green Day got me into Bad Religion, they got me into Rancid, they got I guess you can consider Rancid pop punk, but they got me into Bad Religion, they got me into the Sex Pistols, they got me into Cocksparrer, which, yeah, a lot of these bands that I'm talking about aren't pop punk, so, I don't know. Anyway, favorite movie, TV show? Well, my favorite movie is The Outsiders. My favorite TV show, well, if you want to talk about sports show, Monday Night Raw, even though it's pseudo sports entertainment, but yeah. Or Sons of Anarchy, if you're talking dramas. Star sign, I am a Libra, October 15th, 1983. I don't mind divulging that. Favorite animal? Cheetah. I just like the pattern on the cheetahs. Favorite food? Pizza. Fondest childhood memory? Going to WrestleMania 13 with my dad. I remember the wrestlers running up the aisle and everything. It was really cool. Thank you, Adriana. Go follow her if you have not. Link is down in the description. The next set of questions is by Gary the Gray. What inspired you to become a writer? At first I was a poet. I used to love writing lyrics and, just poems. And I hated to read actual books. I mean, I was not a fan of reading because I wasn't very down with comprehension or remembering what I read that well. But later in life, I learned to interpret what I read by jotting things down more. And how I do that is I put what I'm registering in my brain in rhyme, in poetry form. So I'm reading books while I'm writing, so it takes me a little longer than most people to read, because I try to understand and remember everything. But yeah, that's what inspired me, really. What inspires me in general. My emotions. Anything I usually feel, I write about. And really anything that amuses me. Laughter and emotions. Like, for example, my book Life, Sex, Delusions was inspired by A Lion's Tale by Criss. His was an autobiography, but mine was a fictional book that had autobiographical moments of my own in it. So, that answers your questions, man. Thank you very much. If you're not following Gary, which I don't know if you're watching this why you wouldn't be, go down below and follow his channel. He's a great ASM artist. Really cool guy. Really cool guy. Criss ASMR. Did you take singing classes? Because your singing is good. Well, first of all, thank you. I don't know if my singing was that great, because I don't do it that often, but I tried to take singing lessons once, but the teacher was kind of like, man, I don't know what to do with you. Yeah. Like, apparently they take all ages, he claims, but they usually take people who have never sang a day before in their life. So that kind of fell and went nowhere. So I just kept singing my own way. What was your first ASMR experience that you remember? You know, I've never gotten tingles, really. I just use ASMR to relax, but if I'm thinking about the first sound that made me truly, truly relax, it's ocean waves. And when I was in Florida, that sound really, really chilled me. So ocean waves was technically my first ASMR experience, I guess you could say. But the first ASMR video I watched, I don't even remember the title. All I remember was it was like a relaxation video by Softly Galoshes. And as soon as I saw her videos, I started becoming addicted to ASMR, and that's how I got here. Did you tell your family and friends that you make ASMR? I tell them that I actually make relaxation videos because they don't understand what ASMR actually is. And some people actually thought that ASMR was S&M. Big difference. So yeah. But how did they react? They kind of just shrugged it off and said, that's cool. Like, okay. If you could change one thing in your life, what would it be? My sensory processing. I have a sensory processing disorder. It's a thing where my motor skills are all out of whack and my pain receptors are heightened. So I feel pain a lot easier than most people, and my anxiety gets heightened a lot more than most people. So it's kind of like a weird form of autism, except not quite autism. Anyway, do I have a big dream? My dream is to make enough money to support everyone that I choose to support. My goal in life is to help people mentally and financially, even though I don't have the finances to do so at the moment. So I try to do so by raising people's vibes and helping them mentally by helping them relax by doing this. But I do, try to reach out to people if they need, someone to talk to. all here for you. But thank you, Criss. I really appreciate your questions. Next is Lori ASMR. Where would you love to travel to? My first reply to this was on Instagram, and I said Amsterdam. Because, I don't know, the obvious answer would have been the UK, because she's from the UK, and there's a lot of my friends who I'd like to visit in the UK. But as far as marijuana, I've heard that marijuana is legal a lot of places now, but when I think of marijuana, I think of Amsterdam, and no, I'm not a pothead. I've actually not smoked weed since 2008, I want to say. So it's been a while. But, yeah, I get a lot of pain issues and a lot of anxiety issues, so I have a feeling that would help me a lot. And a lot of people that were in California with me that saw me on video chat would agree with me that I was actually a lot more chill that way. Anyway, what's my favorite ASMR trigger? Follow the light. What's your favorite author? Chuck Palahniuk. I actually thought that it was Palahniuk, but apparently it's pronounced Palahniuk, I found out today. He said it himself on Twitter. Who's your favorite vocalist? Freddie Mercury. I actually think that he has a lot of power after... the funny thing is, I was never really a big Queen fan, but when you watch his Live Aid performance, and then you watch Bohemian Rhapsody, it really gets you into the feeling of Queen. I don't know, I just kind of really like his vocals, and the Struts singer is inspired by him a lot, so I kind of really like that band too. Anyway, okay, these are all my questions now. I kind of added to it a little bit. Let's see how much time we got. Okay, we got plenty of time. What is the strangest place you've either urinated or defecated? There's a now defunct club Galaxy, or a now defunct place called Club Galaxy in St. Louis. I had to go to the bathroom there. I peed, but I did not, I had a lot of gas, but my body would not let me, go because there were no stalls. All these toilets lined up. There were urinals next to the toilets, but all these toilets lined up were meant to be urinals. I just freaking sat down because I had to go, and there was no stalls. And people were looking at me and laughing. The place is shut down now for inspection reasons, but I can see why. Anyway, next question. What's the most recent thing that you've done for the first time? Bought a MIDI keyboard. Apologies. He's always in my videos. Turn on airplane mode. I'm just gonna leave that in. Okay, if someone narrated your life, who do you want to be the narrator? Matthew Lillard, SLC Punk style. I don't know, I just like his narration in SLC Punk. If you've ever seen that movie, it's about a punk rocker in Salt Lake City. What outdoor activities haven't you tried but would like to? I'm accident prone, but if I wasn't, I would love to try skateboarding and snowboarding. Because, I'm a huge fan of skateboarding. A lot of people who have been following me on Instagram would notice that I've posted a lot of, I've reposted when reposting was a thing. I reposted a lot of skateboarding videos. Do you prefer your toilet paper over or under? Just let me wipe my ass in peace. Amen. There's your answer. If someone you loved was killed in front of you, but someone created a copy of them that was perfect, right down to the atomic level, would they be the same person, and would you love them just as much? They would not be the same person, and I would definitely not love them as much, but I would definitely take care of them in tribute. I think that would be an interesting concept, to take care of someone who died too soon as a clone in tribute. I don't know, maybe that's offensive to some people, but I think it's a nice idea. What can you talk about all day? WWE or wrestling? Whether it be old or current WWE. I've been a fan for about 24 years, but I'm no super fan. What's your favorite alcoholic drink and non-alcoholic drink? Jack and Coke or Pepsi? What makes you say, "What was I thinking," when you look back in your life? Almost getting married to a girl I knew from grade school who was cheating on me and using me for childcare. Also, me knowing this the entire time. What is your favorite piece of technology that you own? Not this laptop, but my Acer Nitro 5. And I can do music on there as well as gaming, like I do The Sims 4 on there. I should do a Sims 4 ASMR video sometime. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see, what time are we at now? Man. Alright. I'm speeding through this because I thought that I'd be a lot closer to being done. If you went into a coma and woke up in the year 2120, what would be the first thing you would want to know? Are we still a politically divided nation? What is art and what is not art? A lot of people say that anything beautiful is art. I say anything beautiful inspires art. What is not art is anything biological or natural that is not made by man or being. Because I've seen elephants make art too, and other creatures can make art. But you can create something and not have it just be naturally there. Like creating a person, okay, that's inspiration for art, but giving birth to a person is not art. It's inspiration for art. That's all I can say about that. How have TV shows changed over the years? Well, thanks to the internet, TV shows are more appropriate. Because, if one thing offends somebody, All they have to do is say it on the internet. I'm offended. Out. Back then, I bet you people got offended and it wasn't on the internet. Nobody cared. But yeah, there's no cigars or cigarettes in kids' shows anymore like there used to be, which is a good thing. But, yeah, you have to watch your references a lot more now. If you were wrongfully put into an insane asylum, how do you convince them that you're actually sane and not just pretending to be? This goes back to the movie Rumblefish from 1983 or 1985, I can't remember which. But they ask if his mom is insane, and the dad kind of questions what is sane, really. But I'd figure out everything the opposite of what got me in there if I was trying to convince somebody. And I would have them put me to a test. That's pretty much the only way I can see out of that situation. What's something that happened or something that someone said that changed how you view the world? Well, I was really depressed back in 2015 and 16 because I busted my back. And I was kind of just being lazy and not really caring when the social worker was trying to get me to read these books and trying to get me to work through the issues I was having with depression. And I wasn't reading any of these books, and finally she said, you know what? Nothing is going to change unless you use the tools that are given to you to change. And I read this book just out of curiosity, and this book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. It's a self-help book, but out of all the self-help books I started, I read this, and I was like, this is like an actual fiction book, but it has real elements to it. And, it's not like someone talking from experience saying, I did this, I did that, I did this. No, it's two characters. So it really, put a creative spin on things and made me think. So that really helped me focus on choosing to be more positive and focusing on being happier and stuff like that. Instead of, when I get depressed, just dwelling in it. No, I tend to kind of find ways around it now, even though some days I can't help it. But yeah. What is the strangest movie that you have ever seen? I will tell you now, it's not the most boring movie I've ever seen, but the strangest movie I've ever seen would probably be Moses and Aaron, which is a creepy German opera about Moses trying to get Aaron to lead these people out of this slavery, out of the Pharaoh's reign, and these people not believing him. And what I thought was happening, I thought at first, because of language barrier, I thought they were following Aaron and Moses, but they went against Aaron and Moses and started worshiping their own pagan, and devil kind of beliefs, where they'd sacrifice themselves and have sex in front of everyone, and they'd strip naked and kill themselves. It was just I was like, wait, is this a Christian cult movie? I didn't understand. It was the weirdest freaking movie I've ever seen. And the singing, how you're thinking musicals are happy and cheery, or sometimes operas can even be a little more cheery. This one was just you felt like it was devil worshippers singing like, songs in praise of the devil and stuff like that. Just the way they were singing sounded really satanic. It was a really creepy movie. Anyhow, we're rounding to the end here, so I'll just go with the last question. I've kind of been waiting for this one. What should be the goal of humanity? I think the goal of humanity should be to help each other out and to realize that in the end, we're all living the same timeline. We have differences. No matter our differences, or no matter our beliefs, we all end up in the ground. We can go places after that, but as long as we're on Earth, we mine as far as humanity is concerned. We should at least try to help each other out, or try to understand, or at least try to understand things from our own perspective and think of it from our own perspective in a way that is their perspective. I don't know if that makes sense, but there's got to be a way to compromise and just kind of meet in the middle. And that, my friends, is what I think our goal in humanity should be. To not only help our families, but to try to help people as much as we can, as if that they are our own children and loved ones. Take care, guys. Thank you to everyone who has participated. And please follow them in the links below. That's all I gotta say right now.